My name is Arif. I am 24 years old. I am neither a soldier nor a famous journalist. I am just an ordinary volunteer who believes that justice must be pursued even if the path is full of risks. That day, the harbor was crowded with people from different countries. Some carried flags, others held banners with words of peace. The noise sounded like a market, but it was different. Here everyone smiled, greeted each other, patted each other's shoulders, as if we had already been family even though we had just met. I stood on the deck of the ship that would carry me with the Global Sumud Flotilla. The sea breeze hit my face. I stared at the horizon, imagining how this long journey would end. An Italian volunteer greeted me. "We are really making history," he said with a wide smile. I just nodded because inside my nervousness outweighed my enthusiasm. I took out my phone and read the last message from my mother. "Take care, my child. We are proud of you." I took a deep breath. Those words were both a push and a reminder that what I was about to do was not just a journey. This was a mission of life. The ship slowly began to leave the dock. People waved from the harbor edge. I waved too, even though my family wasn't there. Only the sea breeze welcomed my gesture. I saw a young volunteer from Turkey painting the Palestinian flag on a white cloth. He looked at me and said, "Every stroke is a prayer." I shivered hearing him. Meanwhile, a journalist from Spain hurriedly recorded the scene. He ran around interviewing the enthusiastic volunteers. I was caught on his camera saying, "We carry no weapons, only hearts that want to help." Night fell. The sea was calm. Only the moonlight accompanied our journey. In the distance, other flotilla ships appeared like stars on the water's surface, beautiful and majestic. I sat alone at the edge of the ship, staring at the waves reflecting the moonlight. Over the loudspeaker, I heard the captain's voice. "We are making history. We are voices that cannot be silenced." My chest trembled hearing that. For the first time, I felt that we were not just volunteers. We were part of something far greater. The music from last night that warmed the atmosphere was replaced by whispers of panic. An elderly woman hugged her child, trying to calm him. The captain immediately grabbed the loudspeaker. "Stay calm! Don't panic! We are in international waters. We are not breaking the law." His words were firm, but I could feel the anxiety beneath them. I closed my eyes for a moment, trying to calm myself. But the uneasy feeling wouldn't leave. It felt like a giant shadow ready to block the light of our hope at any moment. And when I opened my eyes, I saw not one, but many more black dots appearing in the sky, flying in formation. Many more black dots appeared in the sky, flying in formation. They moved slowly, but the sense of threat was heavy, like dark clouds closing in on the sun. I looked at the horizon where our destination lay. Gaza was still far, but my resolve had strengthened. No matter how many drones threatened, this ship would not stop. This was just the beginning. The thought echoed in my mind, louder than the drone above. The ship rocked again when another cylinder fell, this time on a neighboring deck. Smoke spilled out, making some volunteers cough and rub their stinging eyes. I quickly covered my nose with a cloth. An Egyptian volunteer grabbed my hand. "Help the others!" he said in a hoarse voice. I moved fast, guiding two elderly volunteers to the cabin. They were breathless but tried to stay strong. Meanwhile, medical volunteers handed out makeshift masks and sprayed water. To ease the chemical effects, amid the panic, I tried to stand tall. I knew if I panicked, everything would collapse. In my heart, I promised I won't let fear take over this ship. I will stand beside them until the end. I looked at the sky once more. The drones were still circling as if waiting for the right moment to strike again. And for the first time, I realized this journey wasn't just about delivering aid. It was about courage to face fear head-on. Courage to face fear head-on. But that courage was immediately tested harder than I expected. The drones above returned, dropping cylindrical objects closer to where I stood. When one hit the deck, it flashed brilliantly, blinding me for a moment. My ears rang, my body staggered. When my vision returned, I saw some volunteers sitting, pale from panic. Some cried, some shook, unable to stand. I ran to them, gripping the shoulder of a young Indonesian volunteer who nearly fainted. "Stand up, we must stay strong," I shouted. The captain called all crew through the loudspeaker. "Hold your positions.
Don't give up.
We must keep moving." I took a deep breath, channeling the calm I didn't feel. In my heart, I promised, I won't let fear win. I will stay strong with them. In the distance, other flotilla ships sounded their long horns, as if cheering each other on. That sound pierced my heart, reviving courage that almost faded. I looked at the horizon where our destination lay. Gaza was still far, but my resolve had strengthened. No matter how many drones threatened, this ship would not stop. But the farther we sailed, the harder the trials became. The sky buzzed with machines. Drones swarmed, dropping flashes and smoke canisters into the sea, rocking the ship. I gripped the railing tightly. The sea breeze mixed with smoke made it hard to breathe. Volunteers around me began to falter. A French woman covered her face with a scarf, shivering. An older Indonesian volunteer sat on the floor, eyes empty, as if his spirit had been drained by fear. I tried to encourage them, but my voice was drowned in the chaos. All our avoidance strategies felt useless. The captain repeatedly changed course, yet the drones always followed. "Can we make it?" whispered a young volunteer next to me. The question stabbed like a thorn. I wanted to answer confidently, but my tongue froze. Deep down, I realized, if the attacks continued, we only had two choices. Keep fighting, though almost impossible, or surrender to fear and stop the journey. For the first time since departure, I felt truly. The drones swooped low again. Their roaring engines filled the sky, like machines trying to tear our courage apart. This time, not only flashes, but white powder swirled in the air, irritating skin and eyes. Volunteers covered their faces with cloths. Some hid in cabins, others sat coughing on the deck. I ducked, covering my nose. It felt like we were surrounded with no way to fight back. The captain shouted from the control room, "Communications are down! We can't contact the other ships." His voice cracked under pressure. I stared at the horizon. The large waves reflected sunlight, but no rescue ships appeared. Only us, trapped in the vast sea. "Should we turn back?" a crew member whispered. Those words made my heart pound harder. Turning back meant surrender. Moving forward meant risking everything. I gripped the railing so tightly my fingers ached. All my efforts to calm the volunteers felt wasted. All my prayers seemed unheard. At that moment I knew. We had only one final, most difficult choice: move forward or retreat. We had only one final, most difficult choice: move forward or retreat. The captain stood firm in the control room, sweat on his face despite the strong sea breeze. "We will not turn back," he said with a heavy voice. The words echoed through the ship over the loudspeaker. Volunteers exchanged glances. Some nodded slightly, some cried quietly, yet no one voiced objection. It was as if the decision belonged not only to the captain, but to all of us. I drew a deep breath, trying to reignite courage that was nearly gone. "If we give up now, everything we've endured will be wasted," I told the volunteer beside me. Her eyes welled up, then she held my hand tightly. The ship kept moving, despite the crashing waves and aerial threats. Drones still circled, but oddly some began to move away, as if waiting for something. My chest pounded. I stared at the horizon, hoping for a miracle. And suddenly, in the distance, I saw a massive silhouette moving swiftly on the sea surface. Strong, upright, like a protective shadow approaching. Strong, upright, like a protective shadow approaching. As the ship came closer, I could see the proud emblem on its hull. It was an Italian warship. Behind it, a Spanish warship followed, moving in unison across the waves. I could hardly believe my eyes. The atmosphere on our ship shifted instantly. Volunteers who were pale began to smile. Some hugged, some patted each other's shoulders. Small laughter returned amid lingering tension. The captain raised the loudspeaker. "We are not alone anymore! Italy and Spain are by our side." I stared at the warships now a few meters away. A warmth spread even from afar. The sea breeze felt different, carrying a message. Hope is not lost. Courage is not wasted. I looked at the volunteers beside me, whispering in my heart, "We will make it. We will keep sailing." For the first time since departure, I truly felt peace in the vast sea. With the Italian and Spanish warships alongside us, the fear that had pressed down all this time slowly melted. Volunteers laughed again, though some anxiety lingered in their eyes. I felt relief I had never felt since departure. A young Indonesian volunteer looked at me, eyes sparkling. "Arif, we can make it, right?" she asked softly. I smiled and nodded, though my heart still raced. "Yes, we can," I replied. The captain steered the ship, avoiding high waves. In the distance, Gaza's coastline appeared faintly on the horizon. Our hearts trembled, not from fear but from hope almost within reach. I looked at the other volunteers. Each of us carried our own burdens and stories. Yet we knew one thing: courage and solidarity could overcome even the darkest fear. The sea breeze blew gently, carrying the salt smell and the promise that this journey was not only about crossing the sea, but crossing the fears within our hearts. The sea breeze blew gently, carrying the salt smell and the promise that this journey was not only about crossing the sea, but crossing the fears within our hearts. Now Gaza's coastline was clear. Our ship moved slowly, greeted by calm waves, as if nature itself celebrated our achievement. Volunteers stood on deck, looking at the land they had long dreamed of reaching to deliver aid. Some wept, not from fear but from relief and pride. I bowed my head for a moment, closing my eyes, letting all the emotions sink in. Every moment of tension, fear, and struggle had been worth it when I saw the children waiting for aid, the volunteers still standing and hope becoming real. I realized one thing. Courage is not about feeling no fear, but about stepping forward despite it. Solidarity and good intentions can pierce through the darkest storms. As the ship finally docked, I looked at the horizon once more, whispering in my heart, I came bringing hope, and that hope is now real. The late afternoon sun reflected on the sea, casting glitter that seemed to say every step, every prayer, and every act of courage we made was not in vain.